Hello, how's everybody doing today? I'm Miss Yetter, and we are continuing our reading of The Worst Class Trip Ever by Dave Barry, and we are on Chapter 5, page 62. So let's all turn to Chapter 5, page 62, and begin our reading. Please hit pause if you need a few minutes to get to that page and chapter. I don't remember very much about the evening activities. We ate at a restaurant near the Capitol that specialized in feeding tour groups as opposed to regular humans who would eat there on purpose. Our three entree choices were the executive, which was chicken that could have been fish, the legislative, which was fish that could have been chicken, and the judicial, which was meatloaf that could have been seat cushions. Then we went to the concert by a military band that played pop music, which apparently means music that is no longer popular. The concert was outdoors and everybody was sweating because the weather was still pretty hot, especially for nighttime. To be honest, I didn't pay much attention to the evening activities because I was busy getting more and more nervous. I kept looking around for the weird guys. I never saw them, but that didn't make me feel any better. By the time we got back on the bus to go back to the hotel, I felt like I was going to throw up. I sat down and leaned over in my seat, holding my stomach, telling myself, "Don't puke in front of everybody. Don't puke in front of everybody. Don't puke in front of everybody." "Are you okay?" I looked up and saw that it was Susanna, sitting next to me in Matt's seat. Susanna Delgado was sitting on the bus next to me. This was a violation of all the known physical laws of the Culver Middle School universe. A hot girl like Susanna sitting next to a nobody like me instead of with the other hot girls and popular boys. I'm sure this set off a chain reaction of staring, nudging, and texting throughout the bus. I couldn't see because now I was busy telling myself, "Don't puke on Susanna. Don't puke on Susanna. Don't puke on Susanna." "Wyatt," she was saying, "are you all right?" I'm fine," I said. "You look like you're going to puke," said Matt, sliding in behind us and leaning forward. "I'm not going to puke," I said, "but I am worried about what's waiting for us back at the hotel." "That's what I wanted to talk to you about," said Susanna. "I think we need a plan." "What kind of plan?" I said. "For if those two guys show up at the hotel looking for this." She pointed to her purse. "Why would they want your purse?" said Matt, who, as I have pointed out, can be an idiot. Susanna rolled her eyes. "Not my purse, the thing. It's in there." "Oh," said the idiot. "So here's what we do," said Susanna. "If they show up at the hotel, you pound on the wall to my room 3 times. She sounded pretty excited about the idea of them showing up at our hotel. "Then what?" I said. "What do you mean?" "I mean, what happens after we pound on your wall?" She frowned. "I don't know yet. It depends on the situation." I blinked. "That's our plan?" "So far, yes." I nodded thoughtfully because I couldn't think of anything to say. "I like it," said the idiot. "Good," she said. "Remember, 3 pounds on the wall." She shot up and walked back to the hot and or popular section of the bus. "She's really nice," said Matt, moving up and sliding in next to me. The bus was moving now. "I guess," I said, but I was starting to think the main reason Susanna wanted us to pound the wall was to make sure she didn't miss anything exciting, such as us getting killed. "Listen," I said, "if those guys show up, I'm going to tell Mr. Bardo." "I thought we decided." I changed my mind. "This is getting too weird. I'm going to tell him. I don't care if we get sent home. Matt was quiet for a few seconds. Okay, he said. The bus got back to the hotel and pulled into the driveway. We both looked out the window before we got out, but we didn't see the weird guys or anything else. The street was quiet. Matt and I stopped just inside the hotel doorway and took a careful look around the lobby. But the only people there were in a sad little line to check in. A tired-looking couple with a crying baby waiting behind a couple of businessmen who were waiting behind a tall man in a hat and overcoat and a short, dumpy blonde lady in a red dress and purple shoes talking to the guy at the front desk. Other than that, the lobby was empty. Mr. Bartow and Ms. Rector gathered us all together and gave us a lecture about how we were to stay in our rooms and they would be patrolling the hallways, and anybody caught breaking curfew would be in serious trouble. Then we headed for the elevators. The hot, popular clot drifted past. Susanna worked her way over and whispered, "Seen anything?" "No." "Okay," she said. She held up 3 fingers. "Remember the signal." "Okay." Her clot drifted away. Matt and I and some other losers got on an elevator. As soon as the door closed, Cameron Frank released a pretty spectacular fart, even by his standards, but I was too tense to laugh. I felt a little safer once we got to our room. We got into our pajamas and figured out where to sleep. There were 2 beds plus a sleeper sofa plus a cot, which was where I ended up. We turned on the TV and sat around doing stuff on our phones, with Matt or me getting up every couple of minutes to look out the window and not see anything. A little after 10:30, everybody pounded on the door, which made Matt and me both jump up. But it was just Mr. Bartow telling us to turn off the TV and the lights and go to bed. He was still wearing his backpack. I think maybe he slept with that thing on. We turned the lights off and the TV sound down and went back to our phones. I looked out the window a couple of times, but I was getting pretty tired and I was beginning to feel like we were going to be okay, at least for the night. I closed my eyes and my mind started drifting around the way it does when you're falling asleep. I drifted back to Miami and getting on the plane, then kind of went through the whole insane day, ending with getting back to the hotel and being scared that the weird guys would be waiting for us. Suddenly, I sat up. I was wide awake now. I looked around the room and the TV was still on with the sound down. Victor and Cameron were asleep in the 2 beds. Matt was asleep on the sofa bed. I got off the cot and walked quietly over to Matt. I poked him and whispered, "Wake up." His eyes opened. "What?" "They're here." "What?" "Shh. Whisper." "Where are they?" he whispered. "In the lobby. We walked right past them, but their backs were turned, so I didn't see their faces. I don't think they saw us." "You saw them? Why didn't you say anything?" "I just saw figures. I just now figured it out. It was them." "You're sure?" "Yes. Remember when we came in tonight, the man and the lady in the front desk?" He frowned. "Yeah, but that was a man and a lady. Did you happen to notice what the man was wearing?" He thought about it for a second. "A coat?" "Right, a long coat. So it's warm out. Way too warm for that coat. That's like a heavy winter coat. He's wearing it to cover himself, especially his tattoos. He had a hat on, too. He doesn't want us to recognize him. But he was with a lady. He was with somebody in a dress with blonde hair." or a blonde wig. But why do you think that was? The shoes. Do you remember the shoes on the lady? No, they were purple. I didn't really think about it at the time, but they were definitely purple. So, purple shoes with a red dress? Those don't go together. I rolled my eyes. No, and guess what the little weird guy was wearing on the plane? What? Purple Crocs. You're sure? Positive. I thought it was weird, a grown up wearing Crocs. He heard a rustling in on the bed, and Cameron was sitting up. What's going on? He said. Nothing, I said. Okay, he said. He got up and shuffled into the bathroom. Matt leaned toward me and whispered, okay, say that was them in the lobby. It, it is them. They're here. Okay, but they don't know what room we're in. I think maybe they do. I think that's why they were talking to the old guy at the front desk. They were finding out what room we're in, maybe even bribing the old guy to give them a key. But they don't know our names. Yes, they do. How? Remember the air marshal on the plane? He asked us both what our names were. The weird guys were right there. Oh man, that's right. Yeah. So, what do we do now? I didn't have an answer for that. I was thinking. And while I was thinking, somebody knocked on our door. And that concludes chapter 5 of The Worst Class Trip Ever.